Okay, so here's a recent Blu-ray purchase that I did, and I did it earlier this week. Well, it arrived earlier this week. I actually ordered it from All the Anime via a deal that they were doing over the Easter bank holiday weekend, and I knocked it down from the usual £89.99 to £59.99. So I think I did a pretty good deal for this, which is Pāfekuto Burū Ultimate Edition. And Pāfekuto Burū is a psychological thriller that uses traditional 2D cell animation. It came out in 1997, and it was directed by the late Satoshi Kon, who unfortunately passed away of pancreatic cancer at the age of just 46 back in 2010. As far as I can make out, he only directed about 6 feature films, and there was another one in the work which remains unfinished to this day, and it's doubtful as to whether it'll ever see the light of day because of his death. But enough about that. Let's get on with this Ultimate Edition and see what's inside. Well, before we look at what's inside, let's have... As you can see from my hand in view, it's actually quite a big box. It's surprisingly heavy too, and that BBFC 18 certificate was actually on the original film sleeve that covered this whole box when I first received it in the post. There's the credits, mention of Satoshi Kon, whose name I mentioned earlier. Here's the reverse of the box. Sorry about the reflection of the light, can't really do much about that. Absolutely classic film. I was lucky enough to see it on the cinema screen on the 31st of October 31st of October 2017, when it was given a one-off cinematic re-release to commemorate the film's 20th anniversary, and it was really good seeing it on the big screen with an appreciative audience. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Don't be put off by the fact that it's 2D cell animation. This is not like a Tom and Jerry cartoon. People actually die, and some of the violence in it is quite gory. Inside, we have 2 books, one of which is this one. Now, bear in mind that in traditional Japanese writing, they read from right to left, so what would seem to be the back of the book to us Westerners is actually the front to them. So this is why this book and the other one are the way they are. Now, I'm not going to show you everything in this first book, partly because I don't want to spoil the surprise for anyone who hasn't actually got this yet, but another reason is because some video sharing sites take umbrage to nudity, and you do get the odd nipple inside, so I'm just going to be a bit cautious about that. If you're not used to the Japanese animation, you can get an idea of just the level of detail and beautiful artwork that is quite often a staple of the genre, which is sometimes known as affectionately as anime, spelt A-N-I-M-E. And as well as these you get these artworks. There's the main protagonist of the film, Mima Kirigoe, or Kirigo Mima, depending on how you say names, and showing some of her alternate outfits. These are presumably a bit like character sheets, and here are the bandmates of the band that you see Mima leaving at the start of the film. And and there's actually some scripted versions of some lectures that that once happened. But the main bulk of the box set is this great big hulking tome. See how thick that is. And as you can see, it's a storyboard collection. So inside the front cover, that's the Blu-ray disc containing the actual film. You can get, as well as seeing it in its original Japanese audio with English subtitles, so you can also watch it in an alternate English dub. And there's also several extras, including archive interview with Satoshi Kon, the director, and some interviews that were done with some key members of the Japanese original cast and those who did their voices in the English dub. Let's have a look at some bits of the storyboard. It is quite interesting when you look at storyboards and see how a scene was originally envisaged compared to how it turned out in the final film. And there's quite a lot of storyboard in that. And inside the back cover is what I believe is unique to this particular edition, which is a compact disc containing the original soundtrack. Now, at the moment, I've yet to test this to see how whether it stands out to just be able to listen to the soundtrack from the film without actually being part of the film in question. There are some soundtracks which work as scores by themselves, and others which don't really work so well when they're outside the context of the film. But even if it doesn't, it's still a pretty cool edition. So all in all, pretty good collector's edition set, and yes, I'm quite impressed, especially at the price I managed to get it for.